These are the 10 things I wish I knew before becoming a mom. Hi, my name is Elliot and welcome to my channel. If I'm looking down a lot, it's because I have my notes on my phone. If you're wondering what qualifies me to be speaking on this topic, it's because I'm a mom. And I am a mom of two, one who is 7 and my toddler who is 1. So the first point I wanted to make is you're going to be sleep deprived. There are going to be many nights where you lack sleep. You're just going to feel annoyed and tired for the most part. And I can't speak on how long this period of time will last. It could be 3 months or it could be up to a year. My first child, she was a really calm baby. She slept through the night. I think she started sleeping through the night within like the 4 or 5 month range. But with my second child, I struggled. We struggled. It literally was a year before I can actually get some full rest through the night. And even then, when they start sleeping through the night, you're still going to have some times where you're going to struggle because they get sick or they don't want to go to sleep. If you're pregnant right now, I would suggest that you take as much naps and rest as you can. And hopefully you have the support that you need or that village to help you when you are in postpartum. I unfortunately did not have that. So most of it relied between me and my husband. And just remind yourself that this is just a period you're going through, a period or a phase that you're going through, and it will get better. The second point is breastfeeding. For the life of me, I struggled to breastfeed with both kids. God only knows how challenging it was for me and how bad I wanted to breastfeed. And there's a stigma that goes around with moms that bottle feed instead of breastfeed. And it's very frustrating. I understand there's a lot of benefits with breastfeeding. And that was one of the main reasons I wanted to continue to breastfeed. But unfortunately, in my situation, I was unable to produce milk. And trust me, I've done everything I could to produce more milk, the teas, the diet, name it. I really tried to, especially with my second child. I cried because I was frustrated because I was unable to produce enough milk. I felt like a failure. But honestly, I think I was unable to because of the stress from the lack of sleep and support that I had from family. Like I said before, the only support I had was from my husband and vice versa. And at the time I was working full time. So the next thing you have to do is bottle feed. If you're in that situation, don't feel guilty. Don't shame yourself. At the end of the day, your baby is being fed, and that's the most important thing. Yes, there's benefits to being breastfed. If you're able to even produce just the first or 2 weeks of their life with breast milk, that's amazing. You're doing great. You did the best you could, and the baby received the most important part of your milk, which is the colostrum. Don't shame yourself. Don't feel like a failure. Your baby's being fed. That's the most important part. All right. This one is a big one. Mom guilt. Honestly, I still struggle with that to this day. I felt it with my first child, and I think I feel it even worse now with my second child. It masquerades differently in every situation. One thought that always lingers in my mind is if I'm doing a great enough job with my second child as I did with my first one. And then I think, am I giving my first child enough attention? It's always a constant battle of your mind, whatever you want to call it. You have to reflect each night that you're doing your best. We're humans. We're never going to be perfect. Perfection that I think I want to accomplish will never be because I'm flawed. I'm not perfect. The next one is your body is going to change regardless. There are certain moms that are so blessed and they are snatched. Just know that you're blessed. In my situation, it's not like that. I struggle to lose weight, a weaker pelvic floor, hair loss, that's another one. Majority of the women end up losing hair, which will slowly come back, but it's a struggle. You will have more stretch marks. I wish there was a solution for that, but no amount of lotion or oil will really help with that. It can minimize it, but honestly, it doesn't hurt to try. Next one is the relationship will be tested because you're cranky, you have lack of sleep, you don't feel like yourself. You're on survival mode, so you're not really going to have a lot of energy to do anything fun for yourself. Trying to be patient with one another. Communication is key. If there's no communication, there's just going to be a lot of fighting and bickering. So learn how to communicate with your spouse. And I like to reiterate what was being said to me so that way the person feels heard. Okay, the next point I wanted to make is pure instinct. You could buy all these books on fatherhood, motherhood, any kind of hood. In all honesty, you're not really going to learn how to become a good mom or dad until you become one. And that comes with a lot of trial and error. I bought like maybe 3 books on motherhood, pregnancy books, and if I'm being honest, the book is collecting dust in the bookshelf. Never opened it, never read it. Your best bet is you're just going to learn as you go. And sometimes you're actually going to do things differently with your second child. With my first child, I bought every gadget, every accessory. And in all honesty, I didn't even use most of it. I didn't really splurge on my second child. And I know that sounds bad, but there's a reason why. Most of the things I bought for my firstborn, I never really used it. The baby genie, the sound soother. There's a lot of nice things out in the market and it looks functional. But honestly, it just collected dust here as well. If it's not broken, it still works. Friendships will definitely change, and that's my 7th point. And it could always be for the better or for the worse. Friendships might become stronger. Be open to the thought of creating new friendships. I know there's a lot of mom groups out there you can find on Facebook. I actually love receiving feedback from older moms. They're obviously wiser than me. I'm in my mid-30s. Asking for help. That's my next point. For me, I always took pride in doing things on my own, and I never wanted to be a burden for someone else. And that meant that I would never ask for help. Whatever the situation, I would always refuse to ask help because it made me feel like I was weaker and vulnerable. Don't do that mistake. Ask for help, especially if you're in postpartum, you're pregnant. Don't be afraid to ask help. And me personally, I had to overcome that, especially with an autoimmune disease. I have to realize that I can be limited on some days depending if I have a flare or whatever the situation is. Till this day, I still struggle with this. I won't be quick to ask for help, but this is how I see it. For me personally, what has really helped me transition my way of thinking is through faith. And if you're not a Christian, I totally understand. But this is just me giving my input. When I read the Bible, it talks about being proud. In the Bible, it speaks about not being prideful. It didn't really resonate until I started reflecting back. And me refusing to ask for help is a form of pride. And that has helped transition my way of thinking and accepting that sometimes I will need help. And that's okay. For you, it might be different. And I know once you actually receive that help, you will feel so much better internally and externally. So if anything, you're just lifting off some burden in your day-to-day. So my 9th point is your identity will definitely change. Obviously, there's a huge transition with your teenage years, your adulthood, and then becoming a mother. One of the biggest things I have seen that hasn't really changed is my identity as a mom. My goal for this year is to just change the way I view myself, my identity of just being a mom. For the last 9 years, I've been trying to be the best mom that I can be for my 2 kids, and that's great. I'm not going to change that, but I do want to change is just devoting my whole life around my child. And some people will disagree with me, or some people might think that I'm being selfish in saying that. But let's think about this. Your kids will one day be adults and they will leave your house. It's expected that they're going to start a family and they're going to get married, right? This is what we call empty nester. So what happens to us as parents? God willing, I'll be older. What's going to happen with me? I'm going to feel loneliness. I'm going to feel like I didn't have any personal accomplishments other than just being a mom. I don't want that. Speaking in front of a camera and doing this right now terrifies me. I am a shy, quiet person. Speaking in front of a camera on a mic and uploading it to YouTube or wherever, I feel uncomfortable. It freaks me out. But you know what? I'm still going to hit that record button and I'm still going to upload it on YouTube. So find something that will make you feel uncomfortable and challenge you. So that way you don't feel like your whole identity is wrapped around your children. Don't lose the thing that makes you feel alive. And my last point is it will all be worth it. A couple of weeks ago, my toddler had influenza A, and it was a struggle trying to get her to sleep. She wanted to be carried all day, and at nighttime she did not want to go to sleep at all. It hasn't been fun for the last 2 weeks, and then this week she ended up developing what we thought was pink eye, and it turns out that she had an ear infection which caused swelling in her eye. And again, she's taking medicine for that. So it's been a struggle these last 2 weeks. Being a mom, I wouldn't change anything. I would continue to struggle and go through the hardships because I love my kids. The years that they're small, it literally goes by so quickly. My daughter is 7. She's gonna turn 8 in a couple of months. It makes me so sad because I can remember her not too long ago just being a newborn. And don't get me wrong, not every day is going to be easy and not every day is going to be hard either. So that's the constant battle of being a mom. Thank you for watching, and until next time.